try to go an hour. I only have, I don't, we can stop when you, or whenever, yeah.
Right,
Hi.
we're live, so
We
we're
are
good.
live right now, and yes, Mr. Perotta, we will stop when you need to, because I know it is super late where you are.
Mhm.
So for anyone who is watching or watches later, I am so starstruck right now because I get to pencil one of my pages. Sheshet. I told him I was going to talk good about him. He's just going to have to deal with it. I get to pencil one of my pages with Mr. Rich Perotta next to me, and I'm kind of intimidated.
You're fine.
So, I actually was going to do something else, but then when we talked about doing this and coming on here together, I knew, I'm like, I got to do this page because it's because of you that I even know what these blue pencil things are.
Mhm.
And so I had a few that I needed to add ink to, or I was going to paint. But I decided to go ahead and just do the penciling on this one, since I feel like it was my, like, well, it's because of you I even know what these things are, what the whole blue pencil thing is.
Yeah, well,
So,
someone told me, so it is what it is. Forgive me if I'm not my usual boisterous self. I'm a little tired.
you do not have to apologize. I know you're a busy man and you just got off of a show. Totally do not even. I'm just happy that you're here and you're willing to do this. This is really exciting.
It's exciting for me too. It's very exciting for me to be around you. So,
Aw.
I'm
Well,
looking
I
at.
was, and you don't have to talk, just sketch. I was listening to the way you were describing magic on your interview, and how, like, I everything about what you were saying was like how some of my paintings come to me. Like, I don't know, I can't explain it. I can't tell you what it is or who it is, or if it's the universe, or it's a vibe, or if it's just even the lighting on the paper, to be quite honest. There
Yeah,
are some times where the only reason something gets drawn or sketched or something on one of my pages or canvases, just it just comes out of nowhere sometimes.
yeah, it does. A lot of times it
um,
does just come out of nowhere.
right, like, I mean, I feel like sometimes my hand um, paints or sketches or draws without me. Like, it does. Like, it almost feels like. Have you ever watched that old movie called The Hand?
Oh God, yeah. I actually saw that in the theater.
This is so corny. It was so long ago, but sometimes I feel like I'm like, is that what's going on? My hand has its literally a mind of its own.
No. Well, maybe. For me, it would
Maybe.
be. Well, for me, my hand would run away. Simply because it would be afraid of, because
Uh,
I torture it all the damn time. Because all I do is draw, and it's like,
do you
you
work?
know,
Like, do you have any, like, body aches from all the sketching and art and stuff that
nope,
you have to contend with?
nope.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to, like, was talking about this in some of my broadcasts, and I know you guys earlier were talking about digital coloring, and I tried. Oh my God, honey,
Digital
I
coloring's
tried. Uh, I can't. I can't. It makes my wrist go numb.
uh,
I think it's a cross between the fact that I have arthritis in my neck, as well as just generally being old. Um, but yeah, part of it is because I don't have. I think I told you this. My laptop doesn't have a stylus that come there. You can't get a stylus for it. Like, it doesn't exist. HP made this crazy big screen that does this crazy complete full rotative thing, but yet there's no stylus, or I can't remember the name of that pen that's a capacitor, starts with a C. Um,
it's Cintiq.
yeah, well, my friend got me one, and it didn't work. It still didn't work. It just doesn't work. I tried it with that sketch program, and it just doesn't work. It would work if I wanted to use it to erase some of the like if I wanted to use it to erase large areas kind of thing.
Mhm.
But no, it doesn't work. I can't sketch with it.
Okay. Everybody has their thing.
So don't get too distracted, but do you want to see what I just sketched in my panel, my first panel?
Yes. What's that? Oh.
What's that? What do you think that is? Well, I mean, you know it actually what that is. It's a nude. It's part of the first line of the haiku. The first line of this particular haiku is "Knew I was human," and I thought, what better way to convey being human than with a nude? So that's that. That's in that one. It's real simple, to the point, very basic. Now I'm gonna go move on to the middle.
Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea.
What, move on to the middle or
Getting right into the middle of it.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With the haiku or nudity?
The nudity. Oh, the nudity, definitely.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
I like
well, I was a little shocked that came out of me. Like, this is a little miniature version of one I did recently, where I actually did one that I did it just on paper because I wanted to get an idea of what it would look like. And I think I'm going to end up transferring it and doing a canvas piece with it. It reminds me, this particular one that I just did, it reminds me of the painting I sold earlier this year called Pink. It's a nude, and the woman is she's actually asleep under a tree next to a lake. But the only difference really is she's on her side. So yes, she's nude, and I think there's one breast kind of thing going on in that painting. But she was the largest piece I had ever done on canvas. She was huge. I can't remember how big she is. I want to say she's a 3x5 or 3x6 feet or something. She's enormous. She's like the biggest piece I've ever done. And yeah, I had her on my wall. And this world that we have been in for the last year with COVID and everything, I was on just a meeting type of thing, like a Zoom. And one of the gentlemen that saw her hanging behind me bought her. Nice. He's like, I gotta have that. I'm like, all right. That's what gave me the idea of hanging all these paintings that I have behind me, just in case. Why not?
Well, yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, I have to go on Zoom sometime for work, or sometimes for some of my personal stuff I do when I'm mentoring or something. Mm-hmm. And so yeah.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
so tell me about are you inking the one you drew this morning?
No.
I was going to say, that's not the same page.
No, it's not. This is a commission for the Indiegogo.
Oh, okay.
So what I'm doing right now is just I'm passing the time, because if I decided I was going to continue penciling that page, I'd probably mess it up right now, because
you're going to pass out.
I'm going to pass out in about 20-30 minutes. So I'm just I want to stay in. I want to stay in for as long as I can.
Well, you have already just done so much more just by coming in the little bit you have, and I'm so grateful. I'm super excited that you asked me to do this. Yes, anyone who's watching, he asked me.
I did. I
was so honored. I was like, "What? You want to what? You want to color with? You want to not color?" Although it is kind of funny. It's like, can we have a coloring party? It's like, can we draw together?
Well,
can we draw together?
This is not the only time we're going to do this, you and I.
Okay, that's good, because I have
to do this a lot more. Don't worry.
Oh my God, I have to tell you, you'll be very impressed. I'm sitting here while I was listening to you on your interview while those guys were interviewing you.
Mhm.
And I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with while in my time with Rich? What am I going to do? And I kid you not, I know I was nervous, and I literally start going through all of these pieces I have. Rich, I got so much friggin' work to do. I've got like 3 that need to be painted.
All right. So
I've got 2 that need to be inked. I yeah. And then on top of that, I got all of those prepped and ready. And of course I couldn't do anything with them because I was like, if I was going to do anything with them, I would do them on here live with you. And so I ended up sitting here going, well, what the hell do I do? I got time to kill. He's being interviewed. He's not ready yet. So that is what I did. I pulled out one of my sheets and I got the blue pencil that I know how to use now, thanks to you. And I prepped two whole new pages that I hadn't done before. So now I have 6 of the 10 at least conceived. That conceived thing is done. The concept. So the middle line of my haiku is realized when the wicked. And I don't know. I think this has something to do with the fact that you guys were talking about magic and you guys were talking about witches and you were talking about that kind of stuff when I was actually prepping this, by the way. And so what does my centerpiece come out as? A witch. Like just a witch face. That I need to make look more menacing somehow, which I'm sure I will.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes magic just happens out of nowhere,
Oh yeah, I didn't plan that. I didn't know what I was going to use to convey the word wicked, but it was kind of like I want at some point, one of these days, I'd like to see that Broadway show. I've never gotten to see it. I would like to see it. And so it's kind of like a little bit of an homage to that. And then it was just the whole idea of using something obviously connected to the word wicked. Really. That had more to do with why I went ahead and went with it. And I love the idea of drawing a hat. I don't know why. Something about the witch's hat made me excited.
I'm glad you decided you were going to do this tonight with me. I'm very happy.
Well, yeah.
I wanted to see you paint. I wanted to see you draw, and I wanted to hear your voice. So.
I think of that. I am very, very. I totally agree.
Nothing.
What did you just say?
I love you.
I love you too. I love you too. That's what I thought you said. I'm like, did he just say that? Did he just say that live?
Yeah, I did.
You did.
I did.
Did you want the world to know that I love you? Is that what you were doing?
No.
No? I do.
Oh, all right.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah, well, whatever. Friends tell that to each other all the time. So they.
Of course.
Yeah, they do. So no.
Well, the friends, enlightened friends that know that it's important to say that to each other, because I think too many people nowadays get all wigged out by letting themselves say that, like thinking too much into it or putting too much stock into it or misinterpreting it.
That's true. That's true.
I don't think it's said enough. I don't think people say it enough. I just don't.
Yeah. I mean, I usually don't say any. I usually don't. I'm just the way I am. Oh God, I'm tired.
I know. I don't know how you're staying awake right now. I really don't know how you're staying awake right now. I'm really kind of shocked at you.
Well, there's. I guess you could say I don't know, stamina. Who knows? Whatever. I don't know. I don't know why I'm awake. It could be maybe I took too much meds. Maybe I took too much. Who knows? Maybe force of will. Maybe I'm too stubborn to sleep.
Yeah. Well, I was trying out this thing where I was trying to go to bed earlier and trying to get more than 6 hours of sleep, 5 or 6 hours. And literally, I had 3 nights of hell, really, honestly, because it's it's too much. If I try to get more than 5 or 6 hours, I am a mess. It's just not. It doesn't work. I don't understand how that is. I've always been like that, so I don't even know why I was trying to force it.
Yeah. No,
But I actually do better on less sleep. I really do.
I would like to have a little bit more sleep. I mean, I've been getting 3 hours a day for the last 3 days.
Ooh.
Well, I'm just trying to just make sure I get stuff going, and it's like I have the podcast that I have. I mean, thankfully I don't have anything tomorrow, but
Yeah.
I have two Friday. That's going to be fun. And then I'm off Saturday. I think I'm off Saturday. And then I have another two on Sunday. Yeah, that's going to be fun. And yeah, the Sunday is when the day of the launch. So, it's just, I have a lot of prep to do. I have a lot of pages to color. Ooh,
You're a slave. You're a slave driver.
How am I a slave driver? What's
Well,
myself? Yeah,
with yourself. With
yeah, I know.
yourself. I'm talking about you. You're a slave driver.
I know.
I was as you were talking, I was sitting over here and I'm trying to do this chick's hand, and I was thinking, Rich, have you ever had to count the digits on the hand when you're doing it? Like, does that?
Yeah. I have.
Freaking drives me fucking crazy. I'm like, why did I put a hand in this sketch? Why?
Well, the thing with that is that sometimes you count the fingers because you want to make sure the proportions are correct. That's the key.
Right.
And if you have to make sure you count the fingers, you're not just counting the fingers. You're making yourself aware of the spatial arrangement of said fingers. So
yeah,
that's what you're really doing. So it's okay if you count fingers. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. So
oh, thank God, because I've had to do that more times than I can even talk about.
Oh my God.
Well, I was, this whole thing about doing these illustrated haikus kind of threw me. Like, the idea was nice. It was a good idea. And I love it now. I mean, like, I'm so super glad that I took it and ran with it and have tried to, and I've kind of figured out ways to bring the way that I do my paintings to this process. Like, that was kind of difficult, was trying to figure out how to do that. Because I'm used to just conceiving one image on one canvas. It's you know what I mean? Like, it's a singular type of image. It's not going anywhere. It's not meant to tell a story. It's just meant to be like a snapshot of maybe an expression or a position, like that surrender with the woman, her head thrown back.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And I hate to simplify it, but that's the thing. That's why those are in my brain when I started this. To me, that was a lot simpler than the idea of trying to do this. Like, oh, you want me to take illustrations and try to use the illustration to convey the words of this poem?
Well, you're doing it. It looks like,
Yeah.
I mean, that first panel is very, very, it's very provocative. I love it. The way it's angled, and it's very sultry, especially the way that I mean, I just have to say it, especially the way her legs are parted.
Right. Well, and that's
invited and stuff like that. It's really hot.
And I hope I got it, because I was going for realistic. Like, that's like a real kind of just a position that she may be resting in or laying in, and there's not any posing to it.
No, she looks very relaxed. She looks like it looks like right after. You know.
Oh yeah.
It
Yeah.
looks like it's right after, like it's really relaxed, and it goes with the natural, the beautiful, the flow of your drawing. It's very nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You might have to come to San Diego to draw this chick's hand on this other panel, though. I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I know that I know when I do go to San Diego, I'm gonna have such a great time.
Oh my
You know,
God. We are going to have such a class.
Yeah, I know. It's
I am going to spoil you. I'm going to figure out a million places to take you. Okay, 1, 2. Yeah, there's so many things to do here. Like there's so much for us to do.
yeah.
And see, oh my God, and like as artists, oh my God. Yeah. Seeing San Diego, I've lived in San Diego for 32 years, and the idea of I'm totally screwing up this chick's hand. Okay, I'm over it. I'm gonna leave it alone. I gotta stop. I'm gonna mess it up. But anyway, does she look like a sad girl crying on her hand? I mean, like I've got that kind of going for me.
She looks. Let me see it. I can't see the drawing.
Where is she? This one. It's a sad girl. See,
I love it.
I just can't get the hand right. It's driving me crazy.
Sorry.
I have the point of reference I used for her was just it was actually a Native American painting I had seen that I liked, but I wanted to make it different, of course.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I know what I'm gonna do.
What are you gonna do?
Start over. Like not the whole panel. I'm erasing what's there is my point.
Yeah, that's fine.
So it's funny. I had in the original she has both hands on her head. And so at least I did eliminate the fact that I was going to have two hands in this. I know. I'm not even going to lie. See, I got no shame. I did her hair over on the other side in such a way that I would only have to sketch one fucking hand. I'm just saying.
If it works, it works. Don't knock it.
That's what I did. You know, I'm like, I'm not even going to try to do two hands over there. I'm not even going to go that way, go there. And so that's what I did.
I'm very impressed with how good you are.
I think you're biased, but that's, there's that.
I'm very biased, but still.
But yeah, I don't even think I've shown you the one that's done. I have to be, when you are ready to go and it's getting close to you being done, like you're running out of all the steam and fuel that you have. I want to show you what I do have done before you go, because I just want to, because
that's going to be in about 5 minutes. So
he's like, I'm about done.
I am. I'm rather tired.
I know. God. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you came on here, because as tired as you are, to do this with me, this is exciting.
Why wouldn't I?
Well, and then you know what? It's befitting. It's really befitting that at least that we do this, because I wouldn't even be doing this if it weren't for people like you and Pops and Christy Shen. I wouldn't even be doing this.
Well, you and I are going to do this a lot more often, so.
Okay. I am going to hold you to that promise. You know that.
Do that. That's fine.
Okay.
Because that'll give me an excuse to do it on the weekend. So.
Okay, I think I'm going to leave her alone for now.
Yeah, you should. That's how it's. Yeah, leave it alone for a bit and then get back to it when you get a chance.
And then I don't know how much steam you have left, but I do know. Where did I put it? Because I know you like this. Where did I put it? Oh, here we go. I'm going to add some color to this.
Yay.
So this one, darling, is a haiku that talks about sorrow and being underneath water. And I've got my sailboat at the top and my sleeping man that's submerged underneath. And then I've got a bridge down below that was kind of a take on the suicide bridge that we have here in San Diego called Coronado.
Oh God, I've heard of that.
Yeah. So that's where the poem is about that. It's about being surrounded by darkness.
Wow.
Yeah. So the poem that, oh my God, the poem that you really need to see, though, the one I really want you to see more than anything, is this one. This is one of the finished pieces.
Oh, I like it.
So the haiku. Mm-hmm. Now this isn't the panel piece, darling. This is because each haiku in the book has a singular image painting that goes with it. Oh, look how I love her expressions. You know, the way that she has every single facial expression that you can imagine. I love how you capture that. So this haiku, my dear, is wishing my heart could feel into his world of waves far away from mine. This is the painting I was doing where I ended up crying for over half an hour live on the internet because it's a painting and a poem about two lovers being a world apart. By the way.
That's tragic. That's tragic because I'm sure that two lovers being a world apart is the worst thing in the world.
Right? And especially as you can see.
But especially absolutely 100% when both people are aching for each other in the worst way possible.
Correct. So each haiku has a single image, but each haiku also has a 3-panel page that tells the story, but tells it not the same way or whatever, but just conceived different. So this is the exact same haiku, and I think I might have sent you this image as an example. I don't know.
I think you did.
I might have. But this one has a take on the man holding his hands over his heart. I've got sound waves in here. I've got the heartbeat is in here. So I've got a little satellite at the bottom, and it's similar to that feeling, using the waves of different things to convey the whole, like waves being into the different worlds of each other. Yeah. So
it's lovely.
So those are some of the ones I have done.
Yay.
And I don't know that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Are you about running out?
I'm about to collapse. I don't know how I'm doing this. I'm just.
Is it like 2:00 or something there now?
It's 2:30.
Babe.
30 in the morning.
How are you even awake? How are you awake?
I don't know.
Well, you've been with me for 28 minutes. You're more than welcome to bow out when you're ready.
Why thank you. I'm about to bow out.
I don't take hostages, so you can go when you need to go.
I'm gonna go now.
Okay.
Dori, thank you for inviting me onto your show. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you. I'm so excited you said yes.
I look forward to participating again with you. Talking with you here is very pleasant. I really enjoy it. Thank you.
Same, right back to you, sweetheart.
All right.
You go get some sleep and be good to my friend Rich, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow.
You will.
One of my favorite things is to wake up and find you live sketching. I'm like, that's awesome. I get to start my workday with you in the background sketching. That's always a good day. That's always a great way to start off my day.
Why, thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay.
I will talk to you again soon.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, that was fun. That was super fun. I hope that any of my followers that watch these later, because I know there's a few people that do, they'll message me later. Definitely want to go catch that man's channel, The Richness, on YouTube, because I couldn't. I mean, I there's things that I don't know. I don't know how he does what he does. It blows my mind. And it's really nice when you find someone who is sweet enough to reassure you that even though you're in a completely different genre of art, that you can, do. I'm not shifting over necessarily, but it is nice, like this whole process, doing these haikus in this illustrated form, very, very different than anything I've done before. And I'm really, it was the pain, some of the little pains and growing pains in the beginning were getting to me, but since I have definitely, I think with confidence, and some of the just knowing that it's not going to be the same. It doesn't have to be the same. They're not going to be the same. Yes. Not shocking. So yeah. So I am going to just put on these layers of color I want to on this one, and then I will sign off myself. This particular page is probably, so far, probably one of the simplest ones, I guess is a way of putting it. Like, my head tries to tell me, oh, they need to be these intricate, drawn out, blah, 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 and with all these details. And you know what? Some of them will. I'm sure some of them will. The piece I was just showing Rich, the one about the robot with the heart and the waves, and I mean, like, just trying to explain it, there's so much going on to it. And honestly, whether it makes heads or tails is irrelevant. I know what I feel like it conveys, the words, the haiku words, when I put the words on the page with the images. Well, I am replying to someone. Okay. What color do I want my boat? My boat. Of course, some kind of brown. I'm sure boats aren't really brown. They're more like white. Not that I care. It's funny, like, I was kind of simplifying this whole thing in the sense that as long as the photograph is striking, the colors, as long as they're striking enough apart from each other, that when I do the digital manipulations and such to the images, as long as I can get them to that view kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. I really don't care that I don't have the words. Someone out there that knows digital stuff, digital terminology, could probably explain to you what it is I'm doing with the photos better than what I'm I'm doing what I'm doing with them. Someone else can probably tell you better what it's called. That doesn't matter. Ultimately, as long as the single ones, when I did because I have the manuscript going and I have the single painting images in it already. When I did those and inserted them and set them up and formatted and all that stuff, I quite honestly, I thought I was going to end up like using all these different newfangled softwares and all this different stuff for all these different little whatevers. And all I ended up honestly doing for most of those scanned paintings of the single images, the majority of what I ended up doing was jacking up the contrast and the brightness quite a bit, and then darkening the black. And that was, I mean, that quite honestly was sufficient to attain the enough of an alteration of the image. Oh God, I hope I took a picture of this before I started coloring. I think I did. That's okay. I have discovered that if I forget to take a picture for the coloring book, that it's not the end of the world, because I've gotten super good at using my light board to create those pages from some of my old artwork. So if I forget, I just do one that way. So it's just basically what I end up doing. So yeah, I was like, when I got to this particular piece and I was thinking about it, and I was thinking about how comparatively to the last one, it is very simple, I guess is how I was saying it. It's very simple compared to the other one. But that's good. That's okay, because I think that will offer a balance in the book that I think is a good thing. Like, I think it's good to have a page very similar, or not similar, excuse me. Well, one, not being similar is a good thing. I like them not similar. I don't want them to be all the same. So there's that. I want them to have their own unique kind of look and feel, and like, what is she going for there? That's always going to be something I'm going to strive for in this whole process, is that each piece really is unique and it's its own work. It's its own standalone. That is definitely me. That's very authentically me, is for that to be the case. Oh man. The more what do you call it, unique it is or seems, the more happy I am about it, you know. But then I also do, like in the one I was just penciling with Rich on here, I used a very basic witch face to convey the word wicked in the poem. And I know that, you know, it's very simple. It's not all that creative. And you know what? I think that's fine, because I have so much of my other stuff that I go very all over the place with figuring out ways to convey what I'm going to convey. So if I use one real simple image like that to convey such a word, like the word of like wicked, I don't think that, yeah, there are worse things I can do than keeping it simple, you know? So what are we at? 40 minutes? Yeah. I try to keep these under an hour, or about an hour. I'm not always successful at that. Now I do want these beams I have in each piece. I'm going to probably do them all the same color. So I'm thinking I might just leave it alone for now, because I kind of don't know what I'm going to want color-wise until I'm done, as far as like what color I'm going to use for that, because it's going to be whatever it is, whatever color I choose to do, Or maybe I'll just leave it unpainted. Ooh, that's an idea. That's an incredibly good idea. We'll see. I know for sure I'm going to probably try to leave them alone until the end, no matter what I do. And so when I do get to the end and I step back from it and I hold it away from me and I visualize it, I will know. I will know what I should do. So yeah. So cool. The show that he was on earlier, they were talking about painting and coloring, and one of the guys was talking about being told not to use black. And he's right, because if you use black in your paintings, depending on what you're doing or how you're doing it, you're going to run the risk of muddy paint and the black mixed in with the paint. So like right now what I'm doing, it's not an issue because the black that's here is an ink that really, I mean, I could smear it and make it seriously wet enough to muddy up my waters or muddy up my colors. But most of the black you see here is it's an ink that's been dry. It's been dry since yesterday, and the chances of it getting interfering with my color is very slim. That's very slim. And so I've learned how to work with it. I also like, even before I was doing this thing, this is where like my style, even on canvas, definitely resembles comic books. Is the whole thing about using separation of lines or black lines to separate figures, and I know that's a generalization. Not all of them are like that, but I definitely do that. I've tried doing paintings that have no black. I've tried. I really have. They just end up with black in them. I end up doing something in them. I have yet. I don't think I do have. Actually, that's not true. I just looked over and saw it. I have a couple of floral landscape type paintings that I left out black, and they're just abstract florals with plants and flowers and stuff. Okay, I can do, for some reason I can constrain myself and keep myself from adding the black or using the black. But man, I am the first person that will admit it is hard for me. It's super hard for me to work in the world of pastel. I can't. It's super hard. I don't know. I'm just not that. I'm not that. My color themes are just so dark. Well, not really dark, but bright colors. I love bright colors. I just realized I'm painting the beam. And I said I was going to leave it until the end. Oh, well. This is actually a perfect color for it. That is a perfect color to put all throughout each of the panels. Is this gray. It's like a blue steel gray thing. I like it. I love it when it's so some of the color choices that I do is very random. There's really no rhyme or reason to it. And other times I have certain ways that I do the colors purposefully, knowing that these are going to be photographed and then manipulated digitally, because there's quite a bit of, I'm not perfect at it yet. Not that I ever expect to really be perfect, but I do have a pretty good sense of what looks a certain way once you've played with it on the computer in terms of colors. That is a skill. That's something I have on my side for sure. With this whole process, I didn't have to sit there and do a lot of thinking too much or training or learning the art of colors. I didn't have to do that part, which is good, because some of it is the fact that it's random is that it's like it's random. I don't know why you're trying to look for a pattern. I don't know why you're trying to look for an explanation. It's random. And some of it is very deliberate. I'll start like this color, you know, it's a contrast to what's up top, with the exception of the brown. It's very similar. It's not the same color as that brown on the palette. I'll use some colors in certain places in certain ways to tie in to match up, like line up in a way visually with another one, or to contrast it. And that's just kind of what I do as I go. And I know for me, it's one of the reasons why digital coloring is still a challenge for me, because the whole computer screen thing, it's like I might feel differently after I go to I do need to go back to the eye doctor, because I'm now at a point where I have glasses for seeing up close. I have readers on, and I'm nearsighted on a regular basis. Like I need glasses for when I drive. And so I have the suspicion that I need glasses now for when I'm on the computer. And I have the suspicion that that's been part of my frustration with doing anything like that on the computer, and why I can't see what I want to see, or why I'm not getting the effect I want to get, or have it work the way I want it to work. And so that's why I've just kind of tabled that whole thing for myself, and I will get back to trying out some more of the digital stuff once I know for sure. And I really just think I need probably better glasses. Mm-hmm. This guy, technically he's underwater, so I have to decide how I'm going to do that. Am I going to just paint blue around him? That's possible. Definitely a possibility. I do like the idea of having these finished individual pages of art when I'm all said and done, that I can, you know, sell if someone wants them. I don't know who would, but you know, it's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Now this is what's really cool. So this helmet thing I had on him, I had used a lot of black, and I was like, you know, even though it was black, what I've just done now with the purple, the photo, when I take a photo, will pick that up. It will pick up the difference, which is nice, or the scan. And even though, like, it may look like it's black, it's not. It's a really super deep, dark purple. And that's one of the beauties of some of this, using paint. I'm sure there's a way to do that on the computer. I'm sure. And someone out there is probably like a Michelangelo master of coloring on a digital computer. I am not that level here or there. But I just needed to accomplish what I needed to accomplish for the book. And that I'm doing. I got that. I got that part. For sure. For sure. Okay. Oops. I went to the wrong color in my palette. I fixed it. Oh man. Okay. That'll work. That'll work. So, this is good. One of the things I love about watercolors is like having them do what it's doing, where one's going on to the other, is so not the end of the world, because once it's dry and I go back and I do the black lines again and the outline like I did with the other pieces, it's not even going to matter. And in a lot of ways, when I take the picture, it helps the contrast stuff. It adds these little effects. You don't want it to be a flat, solid color all the way across. It's nice to have some of this depth, like differences in, like the darker, how some of the blue is darker and how some is not. When I start cranking up contrast, for example, that stuff becomes like part of the effect that I didn't even have to paint it. It's just already there. I didn't even have to work on it. And that's just from the different colors, because watercolors are very dependent upon how much water I have in it. Whether it's super, super more water than paint or more paint than water. And then, of course, if you don't have any water at all, it's not going to work. It just sits there like a powder. I'm going to use this to go fill up the white. Around him. Yay! Yeah, it works. See, it's just something that happens. I don't know if you can even see that, but my corner has a little bit of a shadowy thingy effect thing going on now, because it just, it seemed like the right thing to do when I was over there with this silver grayish blue I've got on my brush. Okay. I think this guy is done. I'm going to just come back in here. With some of the purple. There's a little bit of an effect around the edges of this orange. Perfect. Okay. Now, a really crazy idea is when I take a wet brush and do what I'm about to do. So this is a little insane. I call it insane, but I'm basically just putting lines in the paint and doing this like kind of a effect that is not even going to seem like it was intentional when I'm done. I just, I like that. I wanted him to look a little blurry. And I definitely got that achieved. I'm going to put a little bit of a darker blue at the bottom of him, underneath him, as opposed to what's above him. Okay, now I'm done with him. Now I am done with him. So this bottom piece is really interesting, or should be pretty simple, because I want it to be super dark and I want it to be at night. So I am going to first make it all black. If I can get this hair out of here. It's like, what did I just do? Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I want. It's one of those things where I didn't even really have to paint it. Because the little bit of water and the ink that was there, along with the tad bit of watercolor, does exactly what I want in this down here. This very dark black and white image of a bridge. It works just fine for me. I am running out of my black, though, I must say. I'm going to have to get more black. And that's probably more wet than I really should have gone, but it's okay. It is not the end of the world because it will dry. And once it's dry, it will let me do what I'm doing up here, as you can see. And that lets me clean it up. Because once that's dry down there, I'm going to go back in and add some very subtle colors that are going to show up totally different than if I had done them without the black. So there you go. That is one of the other haikus. Oh, hold on a second. I want to do this now before I'm done. I mean, I'm not done. I think I just want to come in here and do the beams. So I don't, it's just a symbol, it's just a symbolic way of combining the three different images together, is that there's this visual of a beam going from the bottom to the top. I mean, they just came to me when I was sketching it. So, and I have them all painted the same color, but I'm probably going to come back through here when it's really super, super dry and reinforce the border or outside black of those beams on each side, just for the visuals to be strengthened. The distinction of what they even are and that they're there. I considered going all the way across the page over the lines. I thought about that. To be determined. So here is another page for the book, and see the bottom is already getting to that point where it's dry enough for me to get the loose parts of the paper away, and it'll be perfect. And even though, so these are just paper, and I don't know, I might come back and actually on each of these pieces. I know I'm going to add color to this once it's dry, for sure. Probably a really slight light silver touches here and there, but it's almost exactly what I want. Just a black dark bridge at night. So, which is pretty contrastingly different compared to the other two parts of this. So we are done for the day and done for the night. And again, thank you to my viewer who's watching right now and whoever came on or watches it later. Again, I want to thank Rich Perotta for giving us his time, even though it was in the middle of the morning and the poor man was about ready to fall asleep while he was drawing. So we penciled this tonight. I think I'm going to dig into this one with some more detail, more penciling and detail. I definitely have some work to do on fixing her hand. It's a little better than it was. And then there's this piece that I painted. And yeah, so tomorrow I have my kids, so I probably will not be live. But otherwise, I see you later. Thank you.